Hey, it's Joel. I was going to show off some tricks regarding using Photoshop to skin cars. In this case, I'm going to work in Assetto Corsa. I just got a few tricks here that, here's my, let's start over here. So I just ran through this once and my video is screwed up, so I thought I'd try it again. I got one more little spot that I want to touch on real quick. The important part that we're going to be touching on is going to be paths, layers, selections, and I probably won't touch much on masking or any of that, but those are other really important aspects of Photoshop. So backing up a little bit, make sure that you got yourself set up already with uh, your skin file. So assuming you kind of there's a jillion guides for how to set up your own custom skin file in Assetto. But you go to your basically your skin directory, duplicate the directory, name it something else. Within that, we're going to be overwriting the skin DDS file. Of course, in working with Photoshop, and I've been working in Photoshop for like 20 years, so the versions have changed a lot. But the gist is you're going to need the NVIDIA, I think it's the NVIDIA encoder or something like that. So sort of starting from there, we're assuming we've got all that stuff straightened out already, and we are going to be working on the Lotus 79 for Assetto Corsa. It's the same exact process, though, between Assetto and R Factor. Largely, it's super, super similar. I've never skinned cars for anything else, so it's good to start with a Photoshop document. Usually, you can find it pretty easy for whatever car you're looking to modify. I've got mine here. So create my own directory here where I've got my own stuff kind of separated, and I can drop logos and things that I'm messing around with, patterns I'm looking for, whatever you got. So I've got my file open here already. And one more little step here. We are using Content Manager for Assetto, and if you're not using Content Manager, you really need to check it out. There's a light version which is free, and the important part is here we can just boop, pop open a quick view of our car. This car is supposed to be black, but as I'm designing, I leave the background a little opaque so I can see my way around. So you see I got this checkerboard pattern going throughout most of the car. It looks pretty good, but I missed a couple spots. Um, I don't mind, these spots will be black and that's fine, but I really had wanted to catch this tail guy here too. I wanted right there to be black. I was looking to get my name across the back, and I've obviously done it upside down. So we're going to make that smaller and flip it over. And that's going to look pretty good. My teammate's name will be on there too. So here we go. So we're going to talk a little bit about paths. Paths are excellent for defining areas of a document that we want to isolate from other areas. So, path tool is us old guys' way of cutting things out with great, great detail very quickly. Way before they had the magic wand tools and the snap tools and all that, we used paths to get in there and really carefully draw around an object that we want. So layers, of course, if you're not familiar, are the lifeblood of Photoshop and what make it work. Because I'm kind of a slob, don't be like Joel, name your layers and keep them grouped. But we're going to use an old trick here, the move tool, and then click right on the thing that we want, and it'll take us right there. And we need to be careful to lock layers that are above this that we don't want for that to be able to work. But you can see I do have my little checkerboard group here. And what I'm going to be doing is creating a pattern. And then inside that, I'll use that pattern to fill my document, to fill the area I want. And that'll get us our checkerboard shape. So I won't rattle on. Let me get going here. So here's the pattern I created, and it's a perfect square, which is important for a pattern. There are no weirdness on each line. And we create a selection of our layer, and we go ahead and define the pattern. I've done this already, but we'll call it whatever we want. I called mine checkerboard. Once we have our pattern defined, then we need to cut out the area that we want to show up. So I'm going to grab my pen tool. Your pen tool, make sure it's on paths, and we'll get on in here to the spot we want. I'm just going to go ahead and use these little anchor points to kind of pull along how I want to go. I don't have to be real accurate. I can go outside the lines. I just don't want to chop into it too much. Something like that. There we go. And then we'll repeat for the other one. And paths work just like layers. We can have as many as we want. I'm just lumping all mine together here at the side pods. And so I'll go ahead and start another one here. We're creating the path because we're going to make a selection from the path to paste our pattern into. Like that. Okay, so let me zoom out. I'm going to go ahead and delete. I got to find my layer here. So remember my trick, move tool, click on the thing you're trying to find. I got to deselect here. Boom, it should take me right, oh, I'm there already. So there's my checkerboard group with my side pods inside it. These here are the top of the wing, they're separate. Probably could have all done it in one swoop, but whatever. So we'll go ahead and click there. Back to our layer. On this layer, I'm going to delete what's there. And we'll go edit. Now, instead of edit, we'll grab our marquee tool or square marquee, right click and fill. I'm going to fill with a pattern. Like that. I've already dropped the opacity of this layer down to the group rather to 10%. So it all looks nice and uniform. Should be good to go. The other thing, if we recall, my name was upside down and way too big. I just kind of dropped it there to see what it looked like. That trick is a cool one too. If you don't know it, hold your control key and tap T. It's a free transform tool. It's super important in Photoshop. You can rotate things. Hold your shift key to constrain proportions and to 90 degrees. I'm kind of sneak that in there. I'm hating it actually all of a sudden. Now my name in another spot up here. I wonder what font I use there. That's a better font. I'm going to pick up that same bit. Good old Orbitron. It's a Google font. If you don't know about Google fonts, they got every font you could want. But, yep, typically you can just type right in there. And then there's these subtypes off, and it's fine. So, it's a little big. Just want somebody who's behind me to know who they're following before they wreck me. That should look all right. It's more or less in the middle. There's a jillion tricks going on in here, but here we go already. So we got it kind of where we want it. Remember, I said it's a black car, so I dropped my opacity of the background down to, you know, some lighter number so I can see what I'm doing. If I crank that back up to 100%, before I save it, we'll get a better, it'll obviously be black instead of gray. I'm going to do a save as. If I'm using not the keyboard, I go File, Save As. And here, I keep a shortcut to my skin file, and we're going to go as a DDS and click on our skin to name it the same thing, save, overwrite, and you know how to. You can find a million guides on how to set the NVIDIA DDS plugin or encoder plugin on the web. And go ahead and save over that. I just leave this thing open, even though it takes maybe a little longer to export. It's kind of fun just to look around the car while you're waiting. Pretty sweet. I keep this thing in the fast mode. There are a jillion different ways to set this up also. And boom, there it is, black. Let's see, we should have our nice checkerboard on the wing. Should be subtle. Yep, that's subtle. Maybe we can turn it up a little bit. You got to be paying attention. In the right light, it pops off of there. And I might turn that up a little bit. So we're talking about opacity. Oops, I'll go back to this layer. I've got the whole group has the opacity set on it. So real quick, I can just turn that up. We'll go up another 10% to 20. Something like that. And File, Save As. Go to your directory, switch to DDS. Overwrite that file. Click Save. And there should get it. So that name's looking maybe a little big still. I don't want you to miss me. Any second now. Donk. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. Maybe 10 was good. She's busy. Well, there you go. Hopefully that helps somebody out. It's just pretty fast, you know. Use your move tool to find layers quickly. It's super handy. Make you so lazy about naming them though is the only problem because it is so easy to jump right where you want to be. Um, a very, very good trick. All right. Well, good luck, man. I hope this helps you all out. Peace.